This is interesting. It's an interesting little jam right there. Little ditty about Jack and Diane. If they was in a German dance band.
It'd be Dieter and Diane.
Dieter and Diane, uns crazy. And instead of a hot dog to be celebrating the taste of free, but to be a bratwurst. Oh, geez.
Man, you picked up all of those accents over there in Europe.
I did. You know, everybody asked me, did I pick up any accents living somewhere? Yeah, actually, when I was in Scotland, even though I was there for only a year, I came back with a little bit of Scottish accent. Because the first, say, 8 weeks I was there, I had no idea what anybody was saying to me. They were like, John Neal, I'd say, aye, wee man. I'm like, that's exactly what I was thinking about. This guy so we were staying in the same hotel. He was like, they brought him in. He was a former big-time superstar. This was going to be his first coaching job. He's going to play player manager kind of thing. And his name was Simon. And Simon had spent the last several years in France. And he would look at me and go, oh, I've no idea what they're saying. I know how to speak French. I don't know how to speak whatever they're speaking. This is awful. But they're like, yeah, no, like, wee man. You know what I mean? No idea. No idea. You crazy lad. But then when I came back down to England, after my little loan thingy was over, I was like, people were like, what's wrong with you? What do you mean, what's wrong with me, lad? Nothing. Wee man. Oh, goodness me. We're having fun here on this Monday. The Germans, they are crazy. And they are going out now. If you've memed somebody unfairly, you could be going to das jail.
It's 6:01 on a Tuesday morning. And we were with state police as they raided this apartment in northwest Germany. Inside, 6 armed officers searched a suspect's home, then seized his laptop and cell phone. Prosecutors say those electronics may have been used to commit a crime. The crime, posting a racist cartoon online. At the exact same time, across Germany, more than 50 similar raids played out. Part of what prosecutors say is a coordinated effort to curb online hate speech in Germany.
Now, I will tell you this. Our Supreme Court has spoken, and they said the only speech protected in America is hate speech. That's it. Because if it's kind speech, we don't need protection for that, right? It's kind. It's nice. We don't need protection. Yeah, it's good. If we like it, then it's not hate. So hate speech is the only speech in America that is protected. Over there, they will decide what is the hate speech.
What's the typical reaction when the police show up at somebody's door and they say, hey, we believe you wrote this on the internet?
They say, in Germany we say, das wird man wohl doch mal sagen dürfen. So we are here with crimes of talking, posting in internet, and the people are surprised that this is really illegal to post these kind of words.
They don't think it was illegal?
No, they don't think it was illegal. And they say, no, that's my free speech. And we say, no, yeah, free speech as well, but it is also has its limits.
We have our limits, right? You can't advocate for violence, right? No yelling fire in a crowded theater. And a lot of that has to do also with how it is perceived as far as that goes. Because if you yell fire in a crowded theater and nobody moves, somebody's going to go report you. And so even if it's a joke, well, it was a joke. And there are limits, though. You know, advocating for the death of people, going out and not only advocating, pushing for it is one thing. No, we shouldn't tolerate that. But we've talked about it all the time here. Bella and I have talked about when crazy goes and hides. That's the scariest thing.
Because you don't know what they're doing, and if they're crazy enough, they could be building a bomb.
That's it. And you can't reach crazy if you go and by crazy, we know what we're talking about. People that are so out there, so angry, so full of hate. You can't talk to them and try to reason with them, try to have a conversation, not only try that, but also see where they are. You're going to make them a martyr. They're going to go away and say to themselves, this is all of the issues that I've been complaining about. They have now confirmed it for me. And then the next thing you know, boom, you're in trouble.
Interpreting those limits is...
By the way, interpreting. That right there is the scary part. Because who gets to be the king and queen interpreter of anything? It's no longer not what I said. It's how somebody interprets it and takes it.
Interpreting those limits is part of the job for Dr. Matthias Fink, Svenja Meininghaus, and Frank Michael Lau, a few of the state prosecutors tasked with policing Germany's robust hate speech laws online. After its darkest chapter, Germany strengthened its speech laws. As prosecutors explain it, the German Constitution protects free speech, but not hate speech. And here's where it gets tricky. German law prohibits any speech that could incite hatred or is deemed insulting.
So we're not even at the point where it's actual hatred that you're saying. If it alludes to something that may lead to hatred. So if I say something like, there are too many foreigners here who are coming here and they're keeping their own identity of their own nation. And in doing so, they're not integrating to society. And because they're not integrating to society, it is making tougher and tougher for us to become part of a one German society, therefore making it a situation where we are separated and it's causing problems. That can be interpreted by some as you hate foreigners, so therefore I should come for you. You haven't said go kill foreigners. You haven't said they're the worst. You're talking about something that is real. And because of that, this is the interpretation side of things.
It's illegal to display Nazi symbolism, a swastika, or deny the Holocaust. That's clear. Is it a crime to insult somebody in public?
Yes.
Yes, it is.
And it's a crime to insult them online as well?
Yes.
The fine could be even higher
Yeah.
if you insult someone in the internet.
Why?
Because in internet, it stays there. If we are talking here face to face, you insult me, I insult you, okay, finish. But if you're in the internet, if I insult you or a politician,
That sticks around forever.
yeah.
It sticks around forever. Okay. So I'm trying to figure out if I insult you in person, right? So now I was like, screw it. I'm just going to go to your face and yell at you.
And how many of those interactions are going to turn into actual fights?
Yeah, there you go. But
Plenty.
it's okay, though, because we're doing it for the right reasons. Nobody else is going to see it but the people in and around there. No, they're not, because people are going to film it. What if I said something insulting to you? So Belle and I get into it, and I say something insulting to Belle. That's an insult. But I didn't film it. Somebody else did, but put it out there. Am I going to be held accountable for that? Should he be held accountable for that? You and I both decided we were going to handle this mano a mano, right? And big hair versus no hair. And this is what happened.
The prosecutors explain German law also prohibits the spread of malicious gossip, violent threats, and fake quotes.
If somebody posts something that's not true, and then somebody else reposts it or likes it, are they committing a crime?
Yeah, in the case of reposting, it is a crime as well, because the reader can't distinguish whether you just invented this or just reposted it. That's the same for us.
The punishment for breaking hate speech laws can include jail time for repeat offenders. But in most cases, a judge levies a stiff fine and sometimes keeps their devices.
How do people react when you take their phones from them?
They are shocked. It's a kind of punishment if you lose your smartphone. It's even worse than the fine you have to pay.
Because your whole life is typically on your phone now.
It's
And
insane.
they're laughing about it.
Yeah, that's the thing. They're laughing. It's so wrong. You know, that they would even do this, but it's funny that we take their devices and don't let them have their devices back. You're laughing about censoring individuals. Now, mind you, this is all coming on the heels of the attack that took place. There was also another attack in Austria, I think yesterday or early this morning, our time. We have got several nations over there that have come to the realization, albeit too late, that through mass immigration, that they've allowed their country to slowly but surely change, and now they have a protected group, and the people that were born and raised there, the Austrians, the Germans, the Brits, the French, feel like they're second-class citizens in their own country, and now there's a new group of people that is absolutely protected because we don't want race wars. Nobody does. Nobody does. At the same time, the more that you protect, the more that you shield, and the more that you don't demand these people become part of your society, the worse it's going to get, and it is getting bad over there.
But it was a 2021 case involving a local politician named Andy Grote that captured the country's attention. Grote complained about a tweet that called him a Pimmel, a German word for the male anatomy. That triggered a police raid and accusations of excessive censorship by the government. As prosecutors explained to us, in Germany, it's okay to debate politics online, but it can be a crime to call anyone a Pimmel, even a politician. So
you don't want to be called a Pimmel.
Yeah, but most of them are Pimmels.
Most of them are. But now here's the thing. If I call the entire group a name, so therefore I'm not focusing on a singular, I'm calling the system itself a name, would I be in trouble for that? We're trying to figure out where we're going here. And at what point in time does this carry over to foreigners, which they didn't get to it so much? Because if I'm going on vacation and I've called them Pimmels, am I going to be in trouble? Oh, Mr. Benson, you've come over here to Germany and you called somebody a Pimmel. So you're in trouble. Happy vacation.
So it sounds like you're saying it's okay to criticize a politician's policy, but not to say, I think you're a jerk and an idiot.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Comments like "you're son of a bitch," excuse me for using, but these words has nothing to do with political discussions or a contribution to a discussion.
Okay. Well, I mean, that happens. See, a lot of this is, it's not so much and their laws over there are so weird. And they're much easier to maneuver. There's a reason that most celebrities will sue in Europe before they try to sue in the United States when it comes to, the certain laws, right? When it comes to what somebody says about a rumor, whatever it is, they sue over there because it's easier to get a judgment than it is here because we have such sweeping free protections when it comes to our speech. But for them, they're narrowing it down. Look, for a long time, you couldn't read Mein Kampf. You couldn't have anything to do with Nazi stuff. There was look, they felt ashamed. We are very sorry for what happened, not only once, but twice. They were shameful, especially after that second one. They were extremely shameful. They've allowed a little bit more of, well, now you can read it. There was a time when you couldn't even see the book, Mein Kampf. You can now. That being said, they have now come up with something that is equally as evil in some ways, especially in modern times, which is they're trying to censor you from having any kind of conversation. Do I think name calling can be ridiculous? Of course I do. But you and I both know that several of you call me names all the time. I'm fine with that. I would never want you to ever have that opportunity to say horrible things about me taken away because that's not who we are as a nation. I can take it, but
Are you sure it doesn't hurt your feelings and make you want to go home?
No, it doesn't. Well, going home's always nice, but still. We're at the point now, though, where these nations are supposed to be our closest allies. And they're living in a world now where sticks and stones no longer matter. That's not important, right? Names will be the damaging thing. And they're going to be the arbiters of how you meant it. And that's the scary thing.